Hello everyone and welcome to another casual review. Today I'm talking about Sonic Forces. I cannot rightly call myself a Sonic fan, as this is the first Sonic game that I've ever officially rolled the credits on, so I don't know. I've never really played a 3D Sonic game before, and most of the time when I was playing the original Sega Sonic games, I would play through the levels of Green Hill Zone and call it a day. Like, that's nice. I don't know. I just always felt like Sonic wasn't really my jam. I didn't ever really like how he controls. It always felt like I was controlling Luigi on the older Super Mario games, where it just kind of feels like I'm always slipping around. Like, it's really hard to get him to stop. I'm struggling to put into words why exactly I don't like controlling Sonic, but I definitely like the idea of Sonic, this like cocky blue hedgehog who runs super fast. But when it comes to actually playing him in games, it's just weird because like you want to go fast, but then you're also having to do this platforming that I struggle with for some reason whenever I play Sonic, and it's just like I never really understand when it's time to go fast and just skip everything, and then I feel like I'm missing all of these collectibles, or when it's time to just, okay, and now you just have to stop and wait for the platform to move closer to you for you to jump onto it. I can never seem to find that balance. I know that Sonic has its hardcore fans. The hardcore fans definitely do not like this game, however. Ever since this game's release, it has been dragged through the mud, and people do not like this Sonic Forces game. So I went into it with no expectations whatsoever. I was fully expecting this game to be awful, and it is not amazing by any means, but it's not unplayable. But maybe that's just because my expectations were a lot lower than true Sonic fans were hoping for when this game first was announced. So let's get into the thick of it then. As for the gameplay, first and foremost, you are required to make a character, this little animal character that fits right into this whole Sonic world, where they're kind of like these cutesy, cartoony animals similar to Sonic. I don't know the whole roster of these characters. I know Knuckles, the red guy. I've seen Shadow before, but there's a lot of characters that I do not recognize at all, like this alligator with this gold chain necklace and headphones, and I don't know. Apparently this whole Sonic universe is very, very vast, and I just don't know anything about it. So forgive me if you are a Sonic fan and I don't really understand where these characters came from. But I made a bunny character, and as you progress through these levels, you unlock a ton of different cosmetics, which I always feel like is a nice reward and incentive to play through the game, because you unlock more and more of these outfits, and there's just so much variety here. You can make your character look as wacky or awesome or simple as you wish, and you can change even your animal at any time. Your character is also equipped with two pieces that Sonic does not. You have this grappling hook that you can use to like kind of vault yourself towards objects and swing like Indiana Jones style, and then you also are equipped with a weapon. It's not called a weapon, however, it's called a Wispin. You can explain that to me, I don't know. But you can change out your weapon loadout before you go into the game, and this has two varying functions. One is like more traversal to get you around, and one was to launch at enemies to destroy them. I felt like my starting weapon was the best one. I unlocked tons of different weapons, but I always felt like the flamethrower that you start out with is the best, because it just has a long reach, and you never have to like reload it or find ammo for it or anything like that. It's just this flamethrower. And then as you progress, you can gather up these capsules that give you this little burst downwards to give you some vertical height. This does have ammo, however, so it is not infinite. You also play as modern day Sonic, and he controls, I guess, similar to what I've seen with other 3D Sonic games, where you are running down this pathway and you can lean left or right, and then you can lock on to enemies and launch at them. I felt like the lock on itself never quite worked for me. You have to be within a certain distance. You can't be too close, you can't be too far, and the lock on just kind of assumes if there's a group of enemies, it'll assume which thing you want to vault at. It never felt quite right to me. And then they bring back old Sonic, I guess This is a thing ever since the video game Sonic Generations, if I'm not mistaken. And he, aesthetically, he looks like old Sonic would. He's got the round little tummy. He's shorter. He's like a lighter blue, and he is more of this silent protagonist. He just gives you like a thumbs up or thumbs down. And I definitely enjoyed playing as old Sonic the best, but that's probably because I'm most familiar with this kind of gameplay where it's always like this 2D side scroller. You just jump on enemies to defeat them. You don't need to lock onto them or use weapons or anything like that. It's just back to basic Sonic goodness. So as you progress through these different chapters, you are cycling between these 3 different characters, which is nice because it does kind of mix things up. I do wish that I just always played as older Sonic, though. I guess I have Sonic Mania to look forward to if I wanted to just play good old-fashioned Sonic. So as far as the presentation of this game goes, I have to give it some higher marks here. I like the plot. It definitely felt a lot more doom and gloom compared to most platformer games that I've played. You have Dr. Eggman, and he essentially does these experiments to create this ultimate evil animal called Infinite, and he is able to like project these holographics that actually can interact with the physical world. So Infinite then creates all of Sonic's old bad guys that I don't recognize besides Shadow, I guess. And so they actually defeat Sonic at the very, very beginning. So it feels like doom and gloom. Like eventually all of Sonic's friends, they make like this underground resistance, and basically Eggman wins at the very beginning, and very high stakes. But by the time the next chapter rolls around, they just revealed, oh, Sonic's not dead, and oh, we are actually taking back the world, and it instantaneously feels like we are gaining grounds here, and I don't feel like it was well-deserved. I felt like they maybe should have made it really high stakes and made it seem like this fight was impossible to win until around halfway mark, and then maybe they could reveal that Sonic isn't actually dead, and I don't know, it just felt like it wasn't a deserved victory, and it took away all of the weight of the story that the intro introduced. I actually enjoyed the cinematics, however, and it was a good incentive to keep playing through these missions because I felt like the presentation was good. The graphics were all right. I felt like the voice acting wasn't terrible. Visually just looks nice, and if I was to compliment one thing about all of my Sonic experiences, I always enjoy the music in Sonic games, and the OST for this game is no exception. It's like always this nice mixture of this cool techno electronic music and hardcore rock music with vocals. You don't see a lot of that in video games these days or ever, so I just felt like the soundtrack was nice, and visually it always looked good even during the gameplay outside of the cinematics. Visually, I think this game looks nice, and it fits into the modern landscape. The gameplay is you just control these 3 different characters, and it likes to switch you in between 3D gameplay where you're going down these rails and 2D gameplay, and I just never could really get a good grasp on how these characters are supposed to control. It's like at one point, if you're going really fast, then you can vault really far with your jumps, but if you are going from a walking speed, it just feels like you can't make any distance at all, and it never felt quite right. It always felt weird because like even when you land on a platform, it feels like you can just run sometimes right off the dime and get a lot of speed, but other times you have to ramp up to it. I just never got a grasp of it. Even going down the 3D planes, I could never feel like I was switching directions, like switching the lanes, unless I was using the shoulder buttons. But even then, the shoulder buttons don't really work that well for you to switch. Occasionally, you'll be going down basically like 5 different lanes, and you have to go down to the right lane. And if I was using the stick at all to change directions, it never felt great. You get ranked at the end of each chapter, and each chapter lasts about 3 to 5 minutes on average, so you're not looking at a lot. There's 30 chapters in total, so overall, if you're just playing through the story and you're not trying to get any of these collectibles, you're looking at about a 3 to 4 hour story here, so very, very short of a game. Hopefully you didn't pay full price for something like this. If you are a completionist, they do have these red ring collectibles that you can go for. I just totally skipped them. I didn't worry about that at all, but you do have some incentive to gather up these because you do unlock more cosmetics for your character. I just felt like I was bombarded with all these different options just playing through the main campaign, however, so I just didn't really worry about any of the collectibles. You do also have these certain achievements that you can shoot for, like beat this mission under this amount of time, or collect this many rings, or play with using this Wispin, get all the collectibles, that kind of stuff you can shoot for. And there is even daily rotating achievements that you can shoot for as well. As you play along these chapters, you do unlock secret chapters, which are additional levels that you can play through. Potentially, you can be playing through this game a lot if you are shooting for all of these achievements. If you are really enjoying the gameplay and you want to play a little more after this story is wrapped up, there is actually a lot of stuff that you can go for. Even like if you're a speedrunner, that's what Sonic is known for. So there's this timer up at the top corner, just constantly reminding you how long you are taking to play through this game. And if you happen to die, there's not like lives or anything like that. It's just that the timer keeps ramping up, and your rank at the end won't be as high if you keep dying. But it's not like there's any game over or anything like that. So it feels lower stakes if you aren't shooting for these objectives. Might be even friendlier to the younger, earlier gaming crowd, which is good because I feel like Sonic really resonates with the 10-year-old and under group right now. If my personal anecdotes are anything to go by, ever since the Sonic movie came out, I just feel like the younger generation really enjoys Sonic in a way that I've never seen a group enjoy Sonic before. So this might be a fun pickup for them because of the low stakes, and it's just Sonic, and the visually the cinematics are nice. They probably will help the kids feel more invested. Overall, I don't feel like this game is as bad as its reputation precedes it. I just feel like maybe my expectations were lower, and I had a good enough time with it. It's not anything that's going to change my mind about Sonic, because this has always just been my perspective on Sonic. With playing through Sonic Forces, it's just like, it's not a bad Sonic game. This is just what Sonic is in my eyes. So maybe I didn't judge it with a critical eye like most Sonic fans did. And for the right price, I think I can recommend it. I think just because of how the gameplay is, and beat by beat, I think this game is still a 2 out of 5. When I think about this game, I just think it's okay, you know? I make the sound, like a high pitch, So if your kid is really into Sonic, or if you are curious to pick up this game for $20 or under, I think it's worth its playthrough, and it's short enough that you can play through the game and feel satisfied that you got the whole experience. It's not like you're committing yourself to something really long and horrible. Well, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about Sonic Forces or Sonic in general. Try to convince me, like, what's the next Sonic game that I should play through that will change my mind about the blue blur, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'll talk to you later. Bye!